Hey Scorpio, this is the first series I am doing where I am doing separate readings for each zodiac sign, so please let me know what you think about it. And this is your reading for Mercury Retrograde in Gemini, which starts today. If you want to see how the spread was put together, there's a handful of posts over on my Patreon. It is patrons only bonus content, but there is public content on there, and if you're interested in the bonus content, early content, a monthly live stream, and all of the other bonuses for being a patron, check it out. If you are interested in booking a reading, these ones can be done as a mini reading, so head to the website or email me if you want more examples of my readings, how I read. There is a playlist of readings for the community, and also many versions on TikTok and Instagram. I am Sora Sky messages on everything. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing with anyone you think could benefit from one of these readings or the deck reviews or anything like that. This is a 3-card spread, but we are doing it as 5 cards because I am using the Signifier, which is a card for you, and the Shadow, which is the bottom of the deck and kind of ties things together. I'm using Nicoletta Ceccoli deck for my main reading, and we'll use the Tarot of the Sweet Twilight should we need to clarify. So starting with a card for you, Scorpio, we have the 5 of Swords. Now, if you were to look this card up, you would get the Rider-Waite. Is essentially the cut and run, no good outcomes. But I usually see it more as the no longer being able to compromise. And in this particular deck, I look at the 5s as things we need to let go of so that we can continue on down the road. Kind of the halfway through the tunnel. With her in particular, we look at dropping what we call limiting beliefs. The limiting beliefs are those things that we think about ourselves that keep us from trying to go farther because we don't think we can do it. Sometimes it's because we don't think anyone can do it. But very specifically, we don't think that we are enough to be able to accomplish whatever it is. I love this because the devil in this deck is a giant carrot. And the devil for me is always the card of the demons we make for ourselves and the way we handle our thoughts. And so to see her chopping up a root vegetable is that way of facing the things you've run from, the things you've obsessed over, and all of these little voices that we've made when somebody has told us that we couldn't do something. She is cutting that all up. So we are letting go of any of those thoughts that we've internalized where we can't accomplish something. So I think it's a great way to start. It's a lot of work, but it is a really great way to step into a time period where we're going to have to be very careful with our communication. So, something we should all keep in mind, but if that resonates particularly, then I'd like you to stay for the rest of the reading because it is probably for you. The first question, how can I collect my ideas and choose my words? Judgment. You're not the first person to have that in that place. I love it. Judgment is a card of reflection. It is not about judging. It like being judgmental. It is about judging and being objective. Looking at patterns. So essentially, when I say this, this is what happens. This is what people hear. When I say that, this is what happens. This is what people hear. This is what I'm trying to get across. This is how I want it to go. How do I need to adjust my speech so that I am saying what I mean and what I need to be saying? It's very much a card of looking inward. And in terms of having to let go of self-limiting beliefs, that can also translate to these sorts of how we speak about ourselves. If you are trying to get a job and you say, oh, I don't know if I could do that, if you can manage to apply, still not likely to get that work. Paying attention to how you speak about yourself to yourself and to other people will help you get your message out more correctly, but it will also help you to be in a better place, a better position to get things done and to be more satisfied. Our next question is, how can I be sure that I am being heard correctly? So talking about choosing your words is about getting your message out. Talking about being heard is about having that message received. We have the Eight of Swords. Usually a card of feeling trapped. In this deck, it is my card of regrouping. And that is partly because I focus a lot more, as you may notice, on the numbers in this deck, but also that look. At first glance, she looks scared, which is very Eight of Swords. But she also just kind of looks tired. And she's got her bunny, and she's got her bunny ears and her pajamas, and she's just going to sleep on it. She is going to let all of the disasters of today take a step, sleep it off, and then look at it again. So this is a card of regrouping. It's not a card of ending. It's not a card of being stuck. It's a card of needing to take a step back and see if you can put things back together. It's like a restart, just not from scratch. It is restarting from where you were, but from a better place. Now, in terms of being heard, that can be about adjusting your language as you hear people give you feedback. That can be about understanding that when somebody gives you input, they are doing so for your benefit most of the time. Not all the time, especially online, but most of the time. It can essentially be asking you to drop some defensiveness and move towards a more mutual understanding. Back to the, when I say this, this happens. If you speak your mind and somebody points out that they don't understand something, instead of continuing to use that word and hope that they catch on, you can explain your language or you can adjust it. The regrouping here, when we're talking about communication, is kind of about not doubling down. Allowing yourself to hear. There's a great account on TikTok called White Woman Whisper, and she has the wait. So instead of jumping into action and feeling the need to defend yourself, just giving it a second and making adjustments from there. The last one is, how can I be more flexible? And that was because on the 22nd we move into Taurus, and that's where that sort of thing gets thrown into place. So that is the Four of Pentacles. That is a card of conserving resources, of having a balance between resources so that things are coming in, things are going out, things are being saved, and things are going out for fun things, not just the necessary. Here I like to point out that if either of them were to lean a little bit forward, they would realize they are not alone. So if you are struggling maintaining resources, or with your time management, or with putting together a way to manage your energy, your money, your financial plan, know that you are not alone. Being more flexible here means being able to find a different way to balance. If you have always put so much into every category, or you've always let go of the time for yourself when you need time management, it's asking you to think differently on this, but also to realize that you're not alone, and that there are people where if you can go with them a little bit more on their path, there are people who can help you, and you know, not just go with the flow more, but also with making your resources work harder for you. And by that, I just mean being able to get the most out of them. I'm not trying to pitch anything. So for your shadow, we have the Star. The Star card is the card of hope. Here there's a bit of co-creation to it because you see she's making her little planet babies. But it's the card of hope. The Star card is all of the things that come in after disaster. It is all of the things that come in for us when we have cleared away the things that shouldn't be there. And it is the part that says, even though this land, this area, this time looks empty now, there's so much more for you. This is just getting things out of the way so you have room for more. I love it with the Four of Pentacles, because with that balance, there is often an urge not to hoard, not to hold on so tight that you can't actually do anything with what you have, and you actually lose ways of bringing things in because you're so focused on holding on to what you have. And with the card of regrouping, that Eight of Swords, I know here we talked about it as listening and not being defensive, but there's also that aspect with that regrouping, that rebuilding, of letting the things that need to go. So I really love this, because it says underneath all of it, there's hope, there is a path, and you're going the right way even if it doesn't feel that way. Does ask you to be gentle with yourself, and also with others, but throughout it there's that constant reminder that you are not alone and that you are worthy of having the things that you need. So let me know if you have any questions on that. Comment how you feel about the spread, how you feel about the process. If you decide to do the spread yourself, either the 3 cards or the 5 cards, let me know. If you post it, tag me, please. I'm really excited to see what comes up. If you want to workshop it, there's an option for that in the Patreon. But I'm also working on putting together times for like groups to work through stuff like that. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope that you are able to be gentle with yourself. Thank you.